Hello guys, welcome to the Surf Hub of Tenerife. I'm here with Matteo Iachino to discuss one of the most interesting seasons so far in racing in 2019.
Yeah, it's gonna be a cool time with you, and we're gonna break down the whole season.
So let's go to the start, I guess.
Yeah, let's start the season. It was a busy season actually. The racing tour kicking off in France.
Yeah,
with the slalom event.
I think France was definitely an event that was taking nerves and took a long time to get it going. It's the first time the event was there, which is really good. We've seen a lot of French events there in the past. It's always been very windy. What kind of expectations going into the event?
Yeah, well, France, as you said, is a great country for windsurfing. Many windsurfers come from France. Many professional riders come from France. If you look at the wave fleet, the slalom fleet, the crystal fleet, it's full of French riders. And actually, Marignan, the event site where we had the PWA event last year, we were supposed to have this year. Actually, this period is actually a super windy place. It's a place that gets northwest, like Mistral, Tramontana, and then you get also southeast. So we were expecting to race in windy conditions. I was actually expecting to race in this moment of the year on small sails, like 6.2, 5.5, 7.0, and small board, because it's what usually the guys they are using in this moment. They've been there as well with Pascal and other guys before, sailing on 6.3. Yeah. So that was expectation, but
it was everyone was kind of anticipating an amazing event. Obviously, we're depending on wind. Let's dig in that race. We can call it like that. Let's have a quick look. And how was the build-up kind of to the event?
Yeah, well,
like to that race specifically.
People saying it's going quick.
The point is that before the start of this heat, and actually in general of this part of the elimination, the wind was stronger. We were all out on 7.8. I guess until hit number 8, the guys were on 7.8, and then the wind started to drop. It was a wind direction, was southeast, but was hard for it to kick in.
Yeah, this
so as you can see, this is already after the start. It's the first jibe. I had a really bad start because on the starting line the wind shifted 20 degrees more or less.
Yeah.
And I was having a pin start, so for me getting to the pin was upwind.
Yeah.
And then I got to the first mark in fourth, and I got super tight to the first mark, so I exit the mark kind of too wide. People went in, and I exited last.
Yeah, and when people went in, you kind of come in a really big wind shadow, I guess. So
yeah, the point is that if it's windy, you can actually come back. You can actually take different lines. But if it's light winds, you want to exit the first mark. I mean, every mark as tight as you can.
Yeah.
And I couldn't.
Yeah,
because and then I got last to the second mark. Second mark was really on the edge. I would say that we were below the wind limit, but
I mean, you can see everyone stays very.
Everybody
very tight
got stuck. I had actually kind of good jibe, but there was really light wind. Obviously, you want the event to get the results so that you can secure the event for the year afterward and to have a podium in that event. So it's normal that they would push for the result to happen, but sometimes it's just like tricky to get fair conditions.
How did it put you in that moment? You know, you train over winter, you start, you basically have after 10 seconds after the start, almost your event, like you can start over again, you know?
Yeah, like you cannot really do, and the point is that you have a lot of pressure before because you get there, as you said, a lot of expectation. You train months, like starts, training, jibes here on Tenerife, testing materials and gear. You go there, get a bad start because the wind shifts, get a bad run because the wind is lighter, you have the wrong sail, and then the event is over, no?
Yeah.
And then obviously my expectation was you start with a bang. I wanted to be in the final and event or anyway the top result. And getting a 26th or 8th was not what I was aiming for, and it put me a lot of pressure on the shoulders for the event afterwards.
Well, for the whole year, almost, no?
For the whole year, but then I didn't know yet.
Yeah.
The point is that I thought I have to perform next event, no?
Yeah.
But the point is that you never know what is going to happen during the year.
No.
You always want to discard
one event to have like this joker to use.
Your joker was straight away used.
And that was already over because I had to use it straight away. So then obviously the pressure rises because there is no room for mistakes, no?
No.
And we had in plan 7 events, so 2 discards.
Yeah.
Because in PWA if we have 4 events, we have 1 discard. With 7, we have 2.
Yeah.
But then we went to Japan.
Yeah. Before we're gonna go to Japan and Asia, let's have a quick look if you have any questions.
Right. Yeah.
I think so far pretty good.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna straight away hit to Asia. I kind of straight away want to go to the Korea event. Obviously, you went to Japan. In Japan, we didn't see any racing in slalom.
Yeah, it was,
we just saw the foiling.
It was barely doable on the foil, and we had a few foil, like 3 foil races, like course races, was really on the edge.
Yeah.
And obviously there was no condition at all for slalom, so I saved my result on foil. I did an 8, that for me was kind of good in the slide, but on the slalom that I was expecting for that to happen, didn't happen anything. So that meant that we dropped to 6 events, and that meant only 1 discard.
Which you already used.
Which I already used. So afterwards I knew for sure that there was no room for mistakes.
No.
And I had to go for it.
Yeah.
So this was...
So you get to Korea, you know you used your joker already, you had a few days of waiting for wind. How does this accumulate? You know, you go to Japan early, I know, to get over the jet lag. Then you sit on the event in Japan for 6 days, which unluckily didn't get wind.
Yeah.
You travel to Korea, you back in, back out, and you sit again on the beach.
Yeah.
How does that mentally work? You know, you're 1 month after your
like through the years I built up more confidence, and I'm getting used to this feeling, because as windsurfers we are getting used more and more to this feeling. And I think it's a key point to get better, to get the good performance in, because you need to be relaxed and ready. I actually somehow managed to stay relaxed, to stay happy.
Yeah.
I was feeling good in Korea, I was feeling relaxed and ready for the event. I was testing before the event in Japan, because actually I had a few days I was fast. Then I was testing again before the event in Korea. I was feeling great on the water, and I was ready for it. I just wanted to compete actually.
Yeah.
My main point is that I wanted to get it done. I wanted to get on the water, get wet, compete, and do a few eliminations.
Yeah.
And I was just waiting for it to prove myself and to prove everyone that I was ready to perform.
Yeah. Let's have a quick look at the first winners final of the year for you.
Yeah. Yeah. This was the start of the first winner final.
Yeah.
So Korea is kind of a weird place. There is this thermic wind coming like midday, gusty. Comes from this valley, so it allows you to have only a stretch in the middle of wind, but actually can be really good. You can be on 7-8 stuck, like full power.
Did you start here from the bottom? It's Tristan more on the top.
Yeah, I was on the bottom. We're getting closer to the first mark. Jordi at the 6th start. And is rounding in first. And
you came.
I am actually coming for the top. That one was Tristan.
So you came in as 5th to the mark, and then come out as 3rd. And
I managed to go from the outside. I mean, it's like MotoGP, no? Like if you go wide, that you can exit the curve tight. And if you go tight, you will exit wide, especially if you're going fast. No? So I enter it quite wide and exit tight.
And then
I managed to climb a couple of positions, and then I was 3rd. I came back on Tati, but then on the last reach, now I remember on the last reach I got super close, but obviously when you're in front and somebody gets closer from behind, you shove him like up and down, you try to close his line, and that's what he did. And
then it gets tactical, I guess, no?
I mean, you cannot really, unless it's really downwind and you play a lot with the course, you cannot really change much of that. It's about squeezing the guy upwind or downwind, so you don't allow the guy in the back to pass. That's what Tati did perfectly in the last reach. And but I was happy. I mean, in these events, you want to be in the top 5 all the time.
Yeah,
and if you are performing in the top 5 most of the times, you will get the result in.
Obviously, important there was Pierre and Antoine both got eliminated in the quarterfinals.
Yeah,
and we're already.
Yeah, on this one, actually I was happy Jordi won because they deserved it, because we trained together all the time. It was his first win in PWA. In this one, again, I got kind of a safe start. I went around everybody, but then I climbed a few places. I guess I ended up fifth on this one, and Bruno won. Bruno nailed the start, and you can see that I was fifth. Yeah. And Bruno nailed the start, and he won his first final. I was super happy about it, because he's a really fast guy. He's Italian. He's younger than me, so I saw him growing, and deserved it. I mean, and again, I had like 2 solid finals.
You were the only one with 2 finals there at that point, because everyone else who was in the first final went into the losers final of the one after. And it's quite interesting Korea, because Jordi won his first final, then Bruno won his first final, but then actually Bruno, besides that final, he couldn't really capitalize on it. Because I think he lost every time in the quarterfinal, the one before, the one after. Why is that so different, you know? Why do you see that, like you, Antoine, the real top guys, are maybe not always necessarily winning, but like they're always in the finals? And then you also have guys like Bruno, they win their first race. Jordi, who's been improving a lot, wins his first race. And how is that mentally? How does that change things? You know.
The point is that me, Antoine, and Pierre, we are Antoine most of everybody, but me and Pierre too. Now we are used to just pass the rounds, pass the hit, being consistent, being always like there. That's the key point. That's what you want to do. It's more important to be consistent, always in the final, always in the top 5. Is more important than having these hypes like this first and then maybe 25th. This doesn't help you, because in the end it's the average performance that brings you up in the rankings. On the other hand, like for Jordi, been winning the first final of his career puts him, actually, people from the outside that don't really understand, but it puts you a lot of pressure on, because you won the first final of your career, you won the first race of that event. That means you're first, and you have a 1, let's say 0.7 actually you get. But and then afterwards, you know that there are 2 options. You either keep winning or you lose. And then if you like to lose, is already been third, you already got worse than they hit before, so you cannot really get better than before. And you're winning, so you know the next one is really important, because if you fuck up, you destroy the performance you did before. So all this thinking just actually takes out the focus from your next race. It's fighting against yourself. So actually it's a fight against yourself. It's not a fight against the other people, because you have to stay relaxed and start from where you finish, actually, as if it was another elimination, but as if it was another event, another year, or whatever. But it's really hard to do it. Many times you are just like overthinking, no? So you started bad, and you keep thinking, I did bad, I have to do good now, I have to recover. Or you started good, you're like, now I have to keep up with the performance I had, I have to stay there, and all this thinking just destroys you. And I guess Antoine, first of all, is the one having this experience, and me and Pierre too.
Okay, let's have a look at the last race, where you kind of had to use your experience, because Jordi could only deny you the event win. So you kind of had to control him.
I knew like here I was like I was cheering Bruno. I was really happy for him to win. And in the last one I was controlling Jordi, because like he had to be, I think, 3 positions in front of me to lead the event. So basically I wanted to stay close to him, not really focusing on the other guys, because they had no chance to win. And I wanted to be either like close to him, behind him, right behind him, right in front of him.
Exactly above him now.
And I just like started with him, and I stayed in front. I think I stayed like one or 2 places in front of him. it's not that I chose to be fourth and he chose to be sixth. It's just like I started to like close to him, and I knew I would end up like either one in front, one behind. That's it.
You could control.
And then in that case, I would have won, and that paid off, no?
I mean, that was absolutely important for both, I guess, your confidence and rankings.
Yeah, obviously after France and after Japan being cancelled because there was no wind, having a victory here, being back on the podium and back on the actually top of the podium meant a lot. Especially after France, many people they were telling me, you were not ready, you were not trained, you were not, you didn't look consistent enough, whatever. Judging one hit. Yeah. You know, you are the king, but you can be the worst in 1 second, no? Or you are the worst and then just you win once, and it's these up and down they shouldn't affect you. Yeah. Exactly. And Gonza helped me through the event, getting me with the sales and stuff. So he helped me a lot, and I was super happy, especially because I proved myself that I was still there. Yeah. And
obviously
and
the rankings also changed quite a bit, because Antoine, he won the last race, but then he still missed out on the podium. Pierre Pierre got into the same position as you, because he got
like a 12th or 13.
So he has his discard also used.
Yeah.
So suddenly the field is evening up again. That must help you to get
I
confidence.
felt actually Antoine was far in front because he had a fourth and a second. Yeah. I was like, he's out of the podium, was still there, but Pierre got a fuck up as well. Yeah. And I felt kind of even with Pierre and closer now with Antoine.
Yeah. I mean,
it's open. Antoine. The point is that it's open. The season reopens now because it's not anymore like impossible. Like it's doable again.
Yeah. Exactly.
So then obviously the whole life gets easier. You sleep better. You're more relaxed.
Yeah. I mean, you got your victory. You went from a low to again a high. So that evens things out. Come back to Europe, and then gonna have a quick look what it is. One of the questions to you: who is one of the most improved sailors?
Well, there are many. I think as we see in this elimination, and then actually afterwards in the year or the year before as well, like Jordi and Bruno, they did a big step up. Yeah. During the year, Maciek and Enrico, they did a really big improvement. Matteo's has been sailing well already for 2-3 years, and I think is the guy.
There are guys you train with as well here, or like the guys you just called?
Yeah, obviously the guys we are training with here, they are improving. Ethan is improving a lot. Many guys are getting there. The point is that now in the top 30, every rider can win a final. Yeah. And like now we are getting to a situation where many of the top 10 guys, they can actually win an event, I would say. Yeah. So it's getting closer, and obviously the winter training here helps a lot, and many guys coming out from this training, they are improving, but now there are more guys, more young faces. Yeah. I think the situation is getting better. It's good for all of us.
Yeah, it's more exciting to watch.
More challenging, but it's interesting to see new faces coming up, and new guys is super cool.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the next event. And so you did the Asian leg. You come back. You have what? Few days?
Nothing. Yeah, we had like 4 days, and then we went to Costa Brava. Yeah. So Costa Brava is an event that has been like light winds many years. So this last year, the event organizer decided to have only foil. Yeah. And obviously we knew that because of that decision, we might most likely had to face the Tramontana wind coming through, and actually that's what happened.
Let's have a look at this fragment from the Nico Preen documentary, which I think is pretty interesting. It's worth discussing. It's about whether we should go racing or not. Well, you guys.
Yeah, I'm like basically saying that I wanted to compete because like we had an opening with light winds, a couple of course racing in light winds, and then second day was nuclear. Yeah. And then.
Are you trying to say that we should be racing right now?
Yeah. Okay. You kind of say here that. Obviously you want to go racing.
I wanted to go racing. I was not there for holidays.
Yes, exactly.
I said it in a kind of harsh way. I said it in an arrogant way, let's say. I didn't want to be arrogant, but the point is that it seems fair to me that if we are professional, and we go pumping in no wind, then we also have to compete and maybe crash and destroy everything in high winds because it's windsurfing. Windsurfing means that you windsurf with wind.
Exactly.
So if it's windy, you should be on the water. So I cannot see a free ride going with a 4 meter sail up and down, and we are not competing because it's too windy, no?
Yeah, exactly.
To me, it makes no sense.
Exactly.
And then we had one competition with high winds. While now on the screen we see the first slalom we ever did on foil, because then at the end of the week we did this format for 3 times.
Yeah, because there were a lot of races done, full fleets, small fleets, so they started to experiment.
Yeah, we experiment a lot in Costa Brava, so we did, I think, 9 eliminations, of which 6 were cruise races, and the last 3 were actually slalom foil. Yeah. First time we do slalom foil in PWA, and it was super exciting, especially the final we saw with Antoine. Yeah. And we were fighting like on slalom. Yeah. Was insane. It was super cool because we were like in super light winds. We had like a similar feeling to what we have in slalom when we compete on 7/8. We were actually fighting out. Yeah. And then we go to the shore and we check the water. It was super light, thermical wind. We wouldn't be.
You wouldn't be
up to do
going
anything
on a
before.
9-4.
No. And was super cool, the feeling and everything, and we saw that was kind of probably the future of light wind slalom discipline. Yeah. And we had nice battles on foil as well.
Yeah, I think that kind of set the future. Where now from 2020 foil and slalom fin is combined. It will always be the same course, and you can choose whatever you want. That was the first one, so I think a lot of people were not trimmed into their gear yet. Obviously afterwards we went to Sylt and we could already see how much more the level has gone up.
Yeah, because we knew that in Sylt we would mix it up more, and then there were more opponents here. Actually, Nico Goyard was going great on slalom as well. Yeah. Basti was already flying in Costa Brava, but was going really fast in Sylt as well. I mean, there were many guys doing really good on slalom foil as well. Here there is a final with Amado. Amado has always been fast on foil.
And you both guys there were like we 5 guys into the world title race.
Yeah,
because
we were fighting, and like he tried to squeeze me up, and then I gained a bit of water upwind, and then I just shot downwind and overtook him in the last, I think, 50 meters, 100 meters.
Last reach.
This I gained a bit of space on him, and so that I could like shoot downwind and accelerate. So you see now I have more speed to overtake him than before. Yeah. And then now he just like gets less power in the sail, touches down once, and is kind of over. But he's really close to the finish line. What happened?
How windy is it in this? I mean, there's pretty much no white caps.
Yeah, it was, let's say 6 to 11 knots.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And what speeds do you get?
We get to 26 knots. Yeah. Now I guess this year we will get to more speed because we develop. We are better in that, and we develop the material to be quicker on the reaches. And the final with Amado in Sylt is actually the best fight I had so far on foil, on slalom foiling. Yeah. Because the last reach was insane.
Yeah.
And
you hear everything on the foil. So are you?
Yeah, actually, the guy in front is kind of getting scared because the guy in front doesn't hear you coming. No. So then he sees you with your eye, with his eye, and then he sees the board, and then you don't know what you are on air. You start like we actually touched twice. Yeah. And it was super cool, and we are good friends with Amado, so it was fun, and I see the water, and it was super cool. Yeah. Super, really fun, and this showed up that. What we decided for PWA to have the disciplines connected and have like slalom foiling light wind was actually the right decision. Yeah. And
from 2020, you feel ready
from this
for that?
year, whenever we start and the best situation is over, we will have it connected, and it's gonna be exciting time to see what is better if the fin or foil. Yeah. So and
all right. Quick check on the questions. Better Asia or Europe?
I love Asia. It's a beautiful country, but so far I prefer Europe. I'm European, so probably because of that. But Asia is really interesting, I would say. Yeah. And which event has kind of the best infrastructure, you would say? I would say Japan and Sylt. are probably the events, and then I would say Fuerte and New Caledonia. Probably these are top 4 events with infrastructure. Sylt by far has been the longest running event with the best platform to promote windsurfing in the world tour, because like there's thousands of people coming, checking you, they know you. The live stream, the media the coverage is great. Yeah. And the action is followed really close from the beach, so I guess maybe it's cold, the condition might not be the best one, but it's a platform to show windsurfing to the world and to Germany. It's probably the best event we have on tour.
Yeah. Okay, one more question. You're going to the first mark. Who do you don't want to have behind you? Like
behind me?
The least.
There are a few.
Yeah.
Depends on the day. Can be Enrico has his days, Maciek has his days, Malte has been worse in the past, is still hardcore. There are a few guys, yeah.
And at
then
the
you
start?
have Tati that sometimes just goes over with adrenaline.
Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah, it can be tough. Yeah. On the start, used to be Josh Angulo.
Yeah.
Used to be really rough. Yeah, he used to come early and just shoot down, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah. So used to be Josh. Now Josh is going up and down. It doesn't do unluckily doesn't do the whole tour anymore. But and then Enrico as well is tough. But the start we are all difficult now because, I mean, some guys are more dangerous, but the start. But somebody that you don't want to have behind, I think those guys. Sometimes you don't want them to be behind.
On the foil different than on... No.
I would be. Actually, it's worse. Probably the same guys, but it's worse.
Yeah. All right.
So we're
gonna do a quick break. Show a bit how the center is, and then we'll be back in a few minutes.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 minutes we're back, and we will watch Fuerte. It's probably the most exciting event of the year.
Yep.
Yo.
Exactly.
Surf Hub. Let's have a look inside. Here we have all the range of the Severne sails. Here we have the S1 and Blade Pros. We are the only center in the world offering them. They are all equipped and rigged up with the full carbon booms. Here we have all the Nano, the Sidon waveboard, the Psycho, the freestyle board. Then we have the Fox, the Free Race, the Dino, all the free wave range, and the Mako, the down the line waveboard. This is where we have our soft top surfboards, really great boards to start enjoying surfing. In our bay, in front of us, there are like smooth waves on a beach break. You can just sleep behind the center in the nice houses we have here, walk in the center, get your board, and get on the water and join your first steps on the surfboard. Here is a nice space where we're gonna have also windsurfing clinics. There is the reception. You can check the forecast, talk with our staff, ask them anything about surfing or windsurfing. And yeah, just come and enjoy some sessions with us.
let's dig into straight away the pinnacle of slalom windsurfing, Fuerteventura.
Yes, the best event on tour, I think, is like where you go and you think you know that you're gonna get the best conditions. Probably it's gonna be windy.
Lots of races.
Lots of races. Yeah. Here I had a pin start, so I'm coming. I'm the closest to the camera.
Yeah.
I'm going down. You can see there is some swell. It's a hardcore place because there is swell and chop. You see Antoine had a little better start than me upwind. He went down on me. So Antoine is the one on the pink sail, on the third one from the right. I'm the second one with the red sail.
One of the most dominant people ever on Fuerteventura.
Antoine, yes. So I'm driving in second. I had a really good jibe, a tight one. I had a tight jibe, and then on the way out, let's say that usually Antoine is a little faster than me on the way in. I'm a little quicker on the way out.
Yeah, I think
so I knew it. I'm attacking.
This is straight away, I think, the most exciting race of the.
This again, we did the whole race. We did the whole race together. It's great when you get this condition. When you're like powered up on 6.2 is amazing because it's like really like motocross, MotoGP, because you don't have to think about getting cover or whatever. You just think about getting fast, be the fastest possible, reading the swell, and doing lines, jibing, try to go tight, try to go inside people and whatever.
Yeah.
Here it was bumpy as well. You can see that it's wavy and bumpy. I got a better drive.
Comes close in. This is actually race 6 already.
Yeah.
And probably hands down the best race ever on Fuerteventura in a way of how exciting it is. You know, you guys keep fighting. And I think a lot of people watch this race.
So choppy, so rough, was unreal. And with the gear we have now, we can actually go fast in this chop. Obviously, it's technical, but it's super rough. You can see Antoine is struggling to go straight.
Yeah,
and we got to this jibe, and I actually managed to jibe on the same swell as Antoine.
Yeah.
And I tighten up the jibe at the end to get the same wave, and then I exit on the same swell as him. I was just a bit above him.
Yeah.
And then I started to go and I thought I would shoot down on him, but like we were parallel, so I waited a bit and then I went down, and
super close racing.
Yeah, we were really close, like getting closer and closer. And then when I went down, he went a little bit upwind.
Yeah.
And actually you cannot see now, but with the back, he little bit it touched my clue.
Yeah.
And like that, the nose of my board. When like kind of touched twice, and I tried to save it, but I almost catapulted.
Yeah.
And over him. Obviously, I didn't try to save him, not to crash him, but to keep going myself.
Yeah.
But it was super, like a lot of adrenaline. Looking at it from now, like it would have been better just to I had other victories. We can see like.
I mean that was the start of the event. So race 6 was like for me a point where it kind of all twisted. So you started off with a bang, you know.
On this one, for example, I did an inside to Antoine.
Yeah.
And then I won the elimination.
Yeah.
I had 3 victories. And then this number 6 was a key point.
Yeah.
I wanted to beat him. I wanted to win Fuerte because it's the event that I think is the most important on tour. It's the one I like the most because I like high winds.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to be on top in that.
Yeah.
And like just my mind switched and I didn't think about the ranking, whatever. I just wanted to win that race.
Yeah, I mean, in that point, I looked at the points. All 3 of you in race 6, actually, Pierre was leading the event. You were behind him with 8.4 points. I think Pierre at 6 point something.
Yeah.
And then Albo was on 9 points. So, like between you 2 guys, whoever won that race was leading that event halfway. You know, I think it was day 3. So it is crucial. It's not yet the time to be happy enough with a second. Because then you would have given
especially it's the conditions where I love compete. No, I wait for the whole season, the whole year to compete in this, and to show that I can win in that. No, I want to win in that. I want to win in the wind because it's what I like. Obviously, there is people that like better other conditions. For me, this is the most important.
Yeah.
So then, like, I was just enjoying and giving my best, and then. Shit happens, but I mean, for the people watching, for windsurfing in general, it's been great.
I think it was super exciting. I think that's an attitude we love seeing as well. You know that you don't calculate, that you just always go for one thing, and that's to win. and I think that makes the racing
I guess that's
exciting.
what you can expect from me.
Yes, but I think it's similar with Antoine as well, you know.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, all of you guys. I think Pierre further in the event, he also did some really, full risk racing as well, and he was up there. You know, it was like you three guys in Fuerte were at the end of the event almost 30 points in front of anyone else.
Yeah,
which
we were between 10 and 14 points, and the rest were like on 45 or something.
So that kind of, you know, you guys were 1, 2, and 3. So every position count. It's not about just having a second. It's about getting those thirds.
Yeah, no, sure. I mean, and to fight out with Antoine, I won so many times the event. I always love it to fight it out.
Yeah, and at that point, he didn't win a race yet.
No,
it was elimination 6, and he didn't win a race yet. I think that in the past has never really happened.
Yeah, sure. I mean, and it was really like when tide picks up, it gets really rough, choppy and wavy. Yeah. And was the worst moment of the day as water conditions. So it was so exciting to compete in that. Yeah. And we had other battles. We can
Let's have a few more. Show a bit more racing from this.
We
event.
can see like this one. This one was one from previous hits. I went inside of him.
That was maybe the first race you won, elimination.
Yeah, I went inside of him. I had a better line on the way out, and then I overtook him on the way out, and then I was out in front. Obviously, it's not the same adrenaline as fighting the whole race because then it's different, no? Yeah. The first drive was kind of exciting though. Yeah. I guess he got stuck with the feet in the footstraps in this one because he got so fast to the first mark that when you go so fast you don't have you have so much pressure in the feet that you cannot take out the feet from the footstrap to jibe. Yeah. And you wanted to push me against the mark and to jibe afterwards. Yeah. But then because of that he entered so fast that you couldn't take out the foot and it went wide, no? So
Exactly.
But that's what you want, no?
You had 2 back-to-back races, you know, that's a really pretty much perfect start. And then after that you had a little hiccup. You got to the losers final, the only loser final you sailed that whole event, which you won. But in the end that didn't make the difference. After that, it did make it a lot more tight.
Yeah, obviously, sounds weird when you win a loser final. You're 9th anyway. Yeah. Sounds weird that it's bad. Yeah. But when you are fighting with these top guys that you are fighting for 1 point, half a point. Sometimes once I won Denmark for 0.4 points. Then obviously is tough, and you don't want any point to drop in.
So on the last day, you had only one thing to do: win. Yeah. So there were going to be 2 more eliminations. You had to win both. If you won both, you would win the event. Yeah. So let's have a look at the first one. Obviously, the points were still really tight. At this point, Pierre still had a chance as well on the event.
Yeah. I had a really good start from the pin. I think I was on the 701 small board. I was feeling confident. It was windy, and then I saw Pierre coming down because it was above me, and when the wind gets lighter, it's gust a bit offshore. Yeah. And then I slammed. I tried to go inside of him, and obviously it made a big difference because getting out of this jibe, I could accelerate earlier. Yeah. On the way out it was a little tighter than before, so Pierre had to settle for second, let's say. Yeah. But then actually Antoine was there ready to attack him. Yeah. So then
it's impressive.
Basically, he went just fully downwind to shoot down and try to go inside of Pierre. Yeah. Basically what I was doing the race before with Antoine himself. Yeah. And then you're actually happy when you're in front and that happens behind you.
Exactly.
Because it makes the people behind you losing water and you're just relaxed in front just to think. Exactly. Thinking about your race and not to fall and to give your best.
I mean, here it's still really close. He's still keeping Antoine off, and I think here Antoine ducks underneath, and goes out, and then Pierre really fights back.
Yeah, he fights back. He goes inside again.
Super tight jibe.
Yeah, really tight, and then Antoine as the outside. But the point is the last reach is kind of half. I mean, it's not really tight, and in this drag race, Antoine on starboard tack is flying. Yeah. And if he exits even, unless you're a little bit in front, he's gonna pass you from as he did, no?
Yeah,
You see, like
exactly.
he went upwind, and then once this happens, it's over. You cannot really. Once somebody like outpoints you and then you end up below him, there is no way you're gonna overtake him anymore.
Yeah. So at this point, Pierre loses any chance to win the event.
Yeah, he did.
So that's it. You know, that was big because all of you guys were super close, super exciting. So at this point, Pierre, the only thing, he's third in the ranking. The only thing he can do is get second.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. You can still win the event, but you have to win, and I think Antoine had to be third.
Yeah.
So it wasn't completely in your hand. The only thing you were focused on was winning.
Yeah, I wanted to win the event, obviously.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about competing on Pierre to be safe in second.
Yeah.
I wanted to compete for myself and win.
Yeah.
So that's if there is any mistake, a rookie mistake, let's say, but I'm not rookie anymore, is that I didn't think about it. So I just like thought about my race as if it was the first one.
Yeah.
And then obviously like Pierre didn't. Pierre thought,
let's have a look at the race.
Pierre thought, okay, I go on him and I gain the only position I can gain, so I cannot win anyway.
Yeah.
I will try to go Matteo and try to do my best. So the wind here turned a little bit more, even more offshore. Like offshore.
Yeah.
So more from the left, let's say.
Yeah.
And then it got me to be a little bit upwind, and Pierre shoot down and went in.
Yes.
Yeah, as you see, really went in hardcore.
Yeah.
And he knew doing like that we would either fall both of us or like it would be.
Yeah, would you do something like that if you still have a chance? Like if it would have consequences of dropping off the podium and staying on the podium?
If it would be dropping or staying on the podium, I would have done it. I don't know if in Pierre's place I would have done this, but I don't know. In the end, it's competing. It has been really cool to compete with these guys here. And then here again, I went in, no? So because I saw him doing on the first jump, I went on the second. The point is that here is a bit more upwind. So while on the first jump you do it and you exit wide and it's fine. Here, if you exit wide, you have a worse line, and the guys in front of you are actually. You see, I had to shoot downwind, and I would have. Here I got shitty wind from the guys in front of me, Antoine, Maciek, and Alex, and then Pierre obviously being upwind and clear wind, and he could finish the competition in front of me. Yeah,
and actually, if you look over the whole scale, that moment was probably deciding in the world title. Like, if you look, because if you would have stayed second, you would have gone into New Caledonia. I mean, at this point it's very hard to tell, but you went from going for an event win to actually within the competition from the top three guys ending last.
Yeah.
Like how was that like?
Oh, the point is that like actually to me what made the big difference is that I got this adrenaline rush in the competition with Antoine, and if in that one I would have settled for second, I would have won the event, and then I would have been leading the tour with a bigger distance. I would have won the World Cup in New Caledonia, because being second I would have won. The point is that I think in all the sports, if you look back, you would have had like a lot of different champions, no? Like you cannot win saying if
no
in
exactly.
the end. But you always like naturally come back to think something like that. But in the end, like I love what I did, and the feeling I had, the competition I did.
I mean, it was super exciting.
Was incredible for me as well to win it, and I think like when you think like look back and you remember these emotions. Like mostly, the peaks, and then I love to be there, compete for that. I will remember forever. So. Doesn't matter, I will have more chance, and this is it. But obviously it sucks a bit that you think about it, and you're like, just settling there, like opening the sail and relaxing. I would have won everything, no? But how you know then? I mean, who tells you how you know it? And especially
you don't know at that time, and then actually you're still not sure if you would have won it, because Antoine would have taken the lead of the event again. Yeah, and then you are still at the moment that I think Antoine is obviously a contender, and he was the most. Anyway, he was the most advanced in the title race after Fuerte. I think his chances were really the highest.
Yeah, he got
From
like a
everyone.
first, a second, and a fourth.
Exactly. So he
While
was.
I had the 25th, a first, and a third,
Yeah.
and Pierre had the first, a second, and the 13th.
Yeah, or 12th. So
12th,
actually, at
so-
that point, Antoine was
Far ahead.
far ahead.
I mean, we knew
favored-
that we had Denmark with the discard dropping.
Yeah.
That would change. Could change a lot.
Yeah,
but obviously,
he
Antoine
kind of
being
had,
Antoine.
he still had his joker at that
yeah,
point.
of
he
course.
still had his joker.
Yeah, so it was relaxed getting to an event where you have a lot of competition,
Yeah.
a lot of high wind, light wind, whatever. He would have got there with a great advantage,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
we all expected to be him, like
Yeah.
the contender, the
Yeah.
main contender, no?
Yeah.
But then we went to Denmark.
Yeah. Before we go to Denmark, let's have
Yeah.
a quick look if we have any questions. 1 second. Oops. So, would there ever be a PWA in Italy?
I would love to. I mean, we had also troubles, but we had back in the days we had Reggio Calabria. I hope we will get something in the also maybe in Sardinia would be great. In Garda Lake would be amazing to have some foil event. I don't know who knows. The point is that main problem is the money. So nowadays having an organizer, organizing the money, getting the sponsors.
Yeah.
This is a big trouble, and but why not? I mean, we are all looking forward for it. Like we would all like to have it.
Yeah.
Let's see. I cannot really answer this question.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know. I hope so, but
Yeah.
no news so far.
Another question was, what's the advantages and disadvantage of being a stronger, heavier guy in the slalom tour? You know, most of the guys are aiming for a certain weight.
I think the point of being heavy is that you can generate more speed in light and medium wind. When it gets strong, actually, it doesn't really matter much.
Then it's more technique.
It's more technical. It's less about the weight. It's more about like being comfortable in rough water, rough seas, doing good jives, good starts. But when you go to 7-8, like you have to be heavy and strong.
What's heavy? Like
between, I would say, over 85 kilos. You have to be. I mean, if you are between 90 and 95 is better. Over 85, you have good chance. Between 95 and 100, probably if you are fit, is really good.
Yeah.
But the point is that the range of your sail is gonna get wider, so you can go over power.
Yeah.
So you can go earlier with a bigger sail, and you are gonna be safe, because if it picks up, you still hold it, and you are still fast. While the lighter guys, they would have to drop the sail, but you are on the water, maybe it picks up. You are stuck with the wrong sail size, and you are not able to generate any speed because you are getting lifted all the time.
Yeah.
So that's about the weight and how hard you can push on the fin on the board.
Yeah. We saw, that's maybe something not necessarily you can answer, but we saw here in the training, we have the 360 videos on board, kind of. You think if we could do something like that in live stream, the riders would be open for that, to actually sail with that on always, or?
Well, I think if in the final is mandatory, then I mean, you cannot really say. The point is that anyway, nowadays we will have to compete a lot more with the helmet on, because if it's foiling in, you need to wear the helmet and impact vest, and then having the helmet with the 360 cam on it or not, makes a difference, but not such a big difference. And if you can stream this action, it would actually make a big difference, because it's great. What we see from inside is like especially in the competition like Fuerte or something like that, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And having this camera on the helmet would create a big advantage for the streaming.
Yeah.
I would accept it.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
it should have been mandatory for
if it's
top 3.
technically possible, maybe that's something that's possible in the future. But
yes.
Let's go to a bit more cold place than Fuerteventura.
Yeah, it got colder. Denmark is a cold event, but it's somewhere that you want to go to because it's a wind event. You will get a lot of conditions because it's an exposed place.
Yeah.
This was one of the first eliminations in Denmark.
Or one of the later ones.
No. This is one of the first. It's the one that I think is the one Arnon is gonna lead, and then I come back. Yeah. Yeah, here I am. I'm third, so I'm jibing really tight. I was on 7/8 middleboard. Was kind of strong in the gust and light in the hose. Was a bit gusty.
Yeah, it looks pretty light.
And I'm far back, but yeah, I had a good line out of the jibe, so I could overtake the guy on Duton. I guess it could be Pierre or Jordi. I cannot really say from here, but I know that was Arnon because I remember really well.
So it got kind of windier the further you got in the race, it looks like.
Obviously going downwind, many places it gets windier because if it's offshore, it gets like better the wind, better quality.
Yeah.
He had a good like couple mistakes, Arnon. He was super fast on the straight, but he got a couple of mistakes in jibes. So this allowed me to go inside of him on this jibe, cover him, and overtake him on the second last reach.
Was that one of the first races? Or?
I think it was number 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Probably elimination 3.
Yeah.
And this was the last jibe. The first elimination victory I had in Denmark.
Yeah.
Was a great event for me. I was feeling great. This is the third day, I guess. We were
Super
competing.
windy.
Super windy. It was the windiest race of the year. We were on 5-5 start. Was nuclear winds. Was really rough water. Stormy with like this rain coming. You couldn't see anything. So in the eyes. Pretty cold. 10 degrees, 11 degrees.
Yeah,
the windshield was
a big difference, you know.
But it was super exciting. And after this race, I was leading.
But you were equal with Pierre, so it was still very tight. I think.
Then we had many conditions because in that day was fully offshore and 5-5. This day, the first day we saw was the same condition as this day. Now we are seeing this moment. It was more side from the left and 7/8. Obviously, these days we are watching is stronger than the day before.
Yeah.
This one, I guess, Maciek touched the mark and got hooked and fell.
Unlucky.
Yeah, on this one I had a smooth start and good race, and then when you nail the start and you're fast, and then you're out in front, there's almost no way that the second guy can come back, no?
Yeah.
Unless you do.
The second guy here is Antoine.
Antoine.
He had a shocker. For Denmark terms, for Antoine terms, you know, he came in as leading, as having the best cards.
Yeah.
And in the end, he made a few unseen errors.
I think he started average the event, then he had a really bad moment, in the early event, like the second day or whatever.
Even.
Yeah. And then after the strong day, he told me that he got a cold as well. So he was bad in his mind because he had this bad moment. Plus he got bad physically as well. For the upcoming days, he was not really on it anymore. And I guess when you get to this descended moment, you are just watching toward the end of the competition. You wanted to finish as soon as possible, or whatever. So that was
So
hard.
That was his joker used.
And then would mean that made it even for all of us, all of 3 of us. After this I was leading.
Yeah.
But by 1 point, so in the end...
1 point or same point?
I don't remember if it was... I
think same points.
Same points or 1 point. The point is that whoever was in front in New Caledonia could have been
I think
between me and Pierre.
After Denmark, you and Pierre both had a first, a second and a third. It was pretty dominant.
I was feeling confident, especially going to New Caledonia, where is a place I like, and usually we compete all the time on 7/8, and last year I was feeling great on 7/8 and medium board. I thought we would have many eliminations, all of them on 7/8, but the spot changed, got better for the public, and the wind, was as consistent as in the other place. The only problem is that was a little lighter. So we got half days on 7/8, half days on 8/6 big board, and mixed it up, and that's interesting because it was until the end was a rush.
The question is, and maybe it's a difficult one to answer, for the last years you've been very involved in the title race. I think for 4 years long you've had 1 title, you've been second, third, or 5 even, sorry. You've been very involved. You think you still have to change something to really make it completely dominant and to really capitalize on every chance you get, or what's...
The point is that it's a difficult question, not because the point is that there is no answer to this. I don't miss anything. every year is completely different from the year before. I mean, from the people from the outside, they just see me maybe leading, and then the last event I lose it, let's say because I get second, or I get second to the second last event, and I stay second in the last one, or I won like 2016. But the point is that every season is completely different. Then in the last season we ended up fighting with the same guys, but every competition we were fighting with different guys at the beginning.
I think the last competition
you fight with new guys, you fight with new faces. Then maybe at the end of the event you end up like on the podium with the same guys, but it's completely different.
I think
how it comes down
showed that
it's completely different. So it's not that it's the same for us. I mean, in the end, I have like 3 Vice World Champion trophies, 2-3 places, one in foil and one in slalom, and 1-time World Champion. I have these trophies, no? But these 3 Vice World Champion, they're completely different one from the other.
Yeah.
As I came down to the last event, like last year, I felt I had like a really great chance to win. 2018, actually, even though I ended up like second as close as this year, I felt that actually Antoine had a bit of an edge on me, but actually 2017 I was again feeling I was closer. So it doesn't really mean that one position is the same. No, it's like every year is different.
Yeah,
it makes exciting.
Every contest is different, you know.
Yeah.
Also, the setup of the year is also different. One year you end up finishing Sylt, another year somewhere else. This year you end up in New Caledonia. It is a bit difficult there, I think, to keep your mind focused, because New Caledonia is middle of November.
Yeah.
Your last contest was middle of September. That makes the season very, very long. How do you keep that focus, and how do you train?
Yeah. Well, this actually destroyed me in 2015. The first time I actually was there for the world title, and because it was the first time for me, and I was leading the tour against Antoine. Got me destroyed in my mind, and because you don't know how to prepare yourself, you don't know, like 1.5 months, 2 months, what am I gonna do? No, how am I gonna train?
You just think.
You are thinking, overthinking all the time, overtraining, overdoing. No, while you should have just live normally, enjoy with your friends, enjoy training. I mean, doing what you are doing, because if you are there fighting for a title, it means you did something good.
Yeah.
Something that worked for you, no? So you don't really have to change anything, but you are pushed to change because you're like, this now I have to perform. But you did perform already, so you don't have to change much anymore. But that's difficult. And then all the time it comes to your mind. You are first, you have to win, or you are second, but and you. So Pierre as well has been for sure.
I think Pierre
stressful.
Kind of went as in 2015. He went as an underdog and almost won the title.
Yeah.
So it was the opposite.
Yeah, because I guess in 2015 it was really competitive. We fight all the time on 7-8, and he was flying in that year on 7-8, and like he came there with no pressure because looked like we were like so far ahead, we had no chance. And actually, because of that, he performed so good. And we did so many mistakes because we had pressure that he got super close to us. Actually, overtook me, and he didn't win with Antoine by like nothing. And then last year is we had pressure both, but we both performed. So it ended up to one of the best events to watch, I guess, for the world title event.
11 races, and it came down to the last final. I mean,
I think not even if you try to make it happen, it will happen this way. No?
Exactly. So let's have a quick look through it. You both started off a bit sketchy.
Pierre got disqualified because he crashed with someone. I did a bad semi-final. I won the loser, but I was in a loser final.
Yeah, and suddenly Antoine was there again.
But then it came out better. I guess we got a day with Pierre on 8-4. This one we got super tight with Pierre and Enrico. Enrico was outside and he kind of like did rail to rail, and he fell because we were super close. Actually, we didn't touch, but we were super close. And being inside made a big difference because then I could exit tight.
I mean,
and
it
win.
looks like being inside is so crucial.
Yeah, being inside is crucial. The point is that sometimes you're inside, and because of that you exit outside.
Yeah.
So you have to be slam and stay close to the mark. No?
Yeah.
And that's super technical because you go super fast and then doing a tight curve is like on the car, no? On the car, if you slow down, you can go tight, but if you keep accelerating, the car wants to go wide.
Yeah, exactly.
So then, like, to keep the speed and keep the curve tight so that you exit upwind, then is super technical and it's crucial, as you said. No? And this was a crucial moment because then brought me to the first victory.
Yeah, first victory, obviously.
I was on 7-8 that
first
day.
victory against Mortefond was just behind you as well.
Yeah,
I think that's very. You all three were going very tight towards that.
Yeah, and
first
then
track.
I had this, and then at this level, when you feel good with your mind, your body, you are and with your gear, and the condition stays the same. You become so not unbeatable, but almost. So then that day,
you got that day.
That day, like I got, the conditions stayed the same. I had really great feelings. I was feeling amazing.
Yeah.
The place is beautiful. And then I just won 3 back to back.
Yeah.
And then when you get this day, a day like this helps you in the mind and everything.
Yeah.
So I was feeling great after that.
Yeah. So
this is another competition on 7-8.
Yeah, I think these are the 3 finals from that day.
Yeah. Like this is the second final. I had a good start. This is Antoine second, Pierre third. I mean, they were always there anyway. Pierre is third. It's not that he didn't win, but having 3 victories is great. Yeah. And we did 3 races because you maximum 3 races. So you're.
We were preparing the banners already.
Yeah, I was actually. Kurosh came with the caps with the number 1 whatever. But no, it's like you just get this hype, no? You know that the competition is still long, but it's really good for your mindset.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously you don't know because you are midway in the competition.
Yeah.
So this was.
You still focus very well after a day like that. You don't kind of get.
Yeah, you can see I was super happy. No, I know like now more, but before that I already knew that this doesn't mean anything because you have to stay there, keep focus. And keep performing. I don't know if this one is still from that day.
I think that's the
number. Yeah, this is elimination 5.
Right, yeah, exactly.
So I won again. So it's the third
again
one I won in a row. I start again at the pin. I was really fast.
It looks quite choppy, that place.
It is super choppy, super nice. It's great because the public stays in front of the first. Of the first and the third marks. There are like piers going in the water.
Yeah.
And the public is there cheering, looking at us, and
I think that's
kids.
super important as well.
Yeah. For sure. And full of kids in New Caledonia. That's great. Yeah, they are building up like new teams. All the guys there are ripping. They're fast. They're training. They do freestyle as well.
Antoine from there,
and they can do great wave sail on the reef. So it's.
Happy jump after 3 back-to-backs, you know.
And then I knew we wouldn't compete anymore that day, so couldn't feel better.
Yeah.
But we were midway, so.
Are you in so much adrenaline rush that night that you cannot sleep, or does that influence you?
You need to. I think I went to a bakery with Bruno to get a sandwich and to relax a bit, like to just. You need like some couple of 1 or 2 hours out of the house just to make the adrenaline go, and then you can go in the house, relax and sleep. Otherwise, if you just go home, eat and go sleeping, you cannot sleep. You just like stay there, and the day after you are destroyed. Even if you got a bad day or if you got a super good day, so you like you have to slow down before.
And then
I guess whatever you did in the day, so if you had a really high like adrenaline moment in the evening, it's better just to slow it down a bit and then go sleeping because otherwise you cannot sleep. Obviously, I was in that situation.
Exactly. So 3 back-to-back wins, a third, and then the 9th. You're in a very demanding spot. I mean, Pierre and both Antoine were still pretty close because they were still doing seconds, thirds. They were still quite close there. Then the day after, I think the first semi-final. You kind of were in a good qualifying position, and then Enrico came out of nowhere. Basically.
Yeah, Enrico came strong on me, but in the end he's competing. No, he didn't really do anything unfair.
No.
Could it have been
better to push harder to be in a third or second place position in that semi than?
Obviously, in the semi, it's always better to be in second or first than being third or fourth, because in the end, if you are fourth and the third one slows you down a little bit, then you cannot really make it out of it.
I mean, at this point, there's so much space. You would be like, I'm in a qualifying position. I'm not gonna risk falling at the jibe.
No, that's the point. No, you on one hand you don't wanna push too much to risk because you are four. No. So small mistake and you're out. Yeah. On the other hand, it's always good to push because if you get third, you have a joker spot that you can play if somebody from the back comes.
Exactly.
But you can always do a mistake. You can like look how wide I went. This was the mistake, the main mistake I did. No. Yeah. I went wide, and then obviously you lose some water. Already because like now probably was getting like some. Yeah, you were getting some extra space. I watched this, and then as you say, you're fourth, so someone in front of you can slow down. Antoine is not gonna slow down. But I think in this jibe you will see Kentel gets a little bit less good of a jibe. Scaglione has to change his jibe a little bit, and because of that, look here, you have to go extra wide. So this
wide,
is Basil, it's not
Basil. And then it's so wide that suddenly Enrico is above you.
Yeah,
and he came from
too wide. He came, The point is that again, what you do now? Then he went down on me, and then like here I was getting shitty wind from the guys in front, and then
we almost touched.
Yeah, we almost touched, and obviously he's there. He wants to qualify for. He's fifth. If you are fifth, you give all to qualify, and I was giving all to stay in, but it was too late already because if he puts the nose in front of you, it's over. Finished. Because if he shoots down, you just have to let him pass. I mean, you either both crash or there's no way, no. So that's what happened. And
so how do you take that? How do you take that?
I was not happy, but when it's your mistake and your problem, I can manage it. Yeah. When is actually something bad happening, bad luck or whatever, or somebody crashing you, that is harder to adjust. Personally, something like this, I take it really personal because I think it's my mistake. So I get angry with myself, but at the same time I can go over it a lot easier because I know it's me. I'm like, okay, it's my fault, my mistake. I did shit, I will go over it and get back on it, no?
I mean, afterwards you still did the best you could by winning the losers final. But when you're going for a world title, it's not really something you want to be having in your
the point is that you win, but you get 9 points. That is a lot because the other guy, if he gets here in this case, if he gets in the winner and he gets half, fourth or fifth that he's gonna most likely get, he's still gonna gain 4 points on you, or 5 points on you, no? And you will have to use the discard, and you will count the points. So it's.
And at that point, you already had a 9th place before. So you already had 2 9th
I knew.
places.
So I knew I needed the second discard, and I would have used that. And then you are counting a 5th or whatever, and then whole comes down harder, no? And then you know that the next one is going to be crucial.
So then we actually have the next semi-final here. Where. I think here is after the first jibe, you don't get away super good. I think Enrico already crashed here, or no, he's still in there. So that's after the first jibe. So you're here in a qualifying position, but you're fighting already with Enrico.
I was fifth, 4th. I remember this one. Then on the way in, now I jibe. We were super close with Enrico at this point. We are on 8-6 big board start because was too light to be on 7-8.
Looks choppy.
Was super choppy. So on the way in, what happened is that we got this massive chop that you cannot see. We all jumped, and Enrico crashed, and Malte being above. He didn't get the chop. So when I lost the control and I had to regain it, he actually kept the gap closed and kept the speed and the power, and he could go over, no? Go over it. Exactly. So then he ended up being in front of me here. and actually he almost crashed me. So this is when I got angry with him, because obviously, I mean, if he was in front clearly, he could have gone around instead of like crashing my clue.
Yeah. So you touched your clue there.
It touched my clue. Yeah, you can see actually in the video. And then I got angry with him, because I was like, if you are clear in front, then obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm competing for the world title and giving my all.
Yeah.
Don't touch me, no? We're supposed to be there like as Italians, friends, whatever. He's running for Germany, but he's Italian. But
on
whatever.
the course, friends.
On the course there is no friends.
Yeah.
But what I mean is that at least don't crush.
Yeah.
Don't touch.
Definitely.
That's the point, no? It's
I mean, here it suddenly gets super close again.
Yeah, because then they got a kind of half bad jibe, but then you see I was not with the nose of the board in front of him.
No.
He was in front of me, so it's like hard to gain this gap, no? Like we were close, but you have to be really a lot quicker to gain this space.
Yeah.
And I couldn't shoot down because I had the duotone sail that would cover me here, while Malte was actually already free of him because he was below him.
Yeah.
So I got shoved out again.
Yeah.
So I was not really happy about it.
No. But during that period, also Pierre wasn't really he wasn't winning the finals after. So he was still he was getting fourth, he was getting fifth. So although you made those mistakes, you kind of were still within distance. You know, it wasn't a clear victory.
No, sure. No, I knew it was not over. I mean, I knew the point is that every chance you lose is a chance lost.
Yeah.
So that's why you get pissed, no?
Yeah.
Because every time you lose a chance is a time you could have won it, you could have gained points, and actually you lost it. So even though you are close, and at this high level, with these guys, you cannot really afford to lose any chance, no?
No.
So, but obviously I was ready to give my best anyway.
Yeah.
And then I think the
race after, I don't think we necessarily have the race after where we got second. No. Okay. So.
Then I got a second with after Ross. We had a really great competition. I was on 7-0 small board.
Yeah.
And then it was really nice.
And then we go to semi-final from
and then
race number 10.
We got race number 10, and this is what I meant before, that I really got pissed in this one, because when this is the worst can happen, that you are so unlucky that you get what you never got in your life in the worst moment of ever.
It could be.
Because I mean, I got an amazing start in this. And then, the unexpected happens. The point is that I never got anything in the water, I have to say, in New Caledonia. Never. I went around the lagoon for kilometers and kilometers, doing shooting for starboard, for Severne, going for myself to the islands. I did hundreds of Ks. I never got anything in the fin. Never, ever. Yeah. And then we come up to the second last semi-final. Yeah. It's crucial because because I was
Pierre
close.
Just before the heat before didn't make the final.
Yeah, didn't make the final. So I had a 6 star at the pin.
Perfect.
I was powered up on 8-6. I was pulling away. I was clear. And then, in the middle of the reach, I got a snake. I got a sea snake. So I started. I mean, the chances to get it they're unreal. I started to jump. You can see there is a line broken because I was jumping, and here I lost the snake finally. Yeah. But as you see, like this, I got from
7. Oh, you still didn't.
Easy, I was spinning out. I was jumping to remove it and everything. I got from easy qualifying first to last. Yeah. So I went inside to this guy from New Caledonia. Then I was actually fast because then I didn't break. Ben in the streaming said that he broke the fin, maybe he broke something. I didn't break anything. I got a big sea snake that didn't break, stayed on the fin. Yeah. Then I started to jump. I had to jump 3 times to take it out of the fin. When it got out, I was 7th. Yeah. And then I fought my way back to 5th. Yeah. I gave all I had because obviously it was crucial for me to make it through. But that didn't happen. I mean, in this one I went. I think I had an inside jibe. I went out in 5th. I had an outside, Ross got stuck. I went outside because Ross was on medium board, I was on big, so I played better out of it.
Yeah.
And then I kind of outpointed him. I got closer to Basil. Basil did an amazing, great race, good jives and everything. I was a little quicker, but obviously if
at that
the guy,
position it's really hard.
the guy in front of you doesn't fuck up the jives, as I said before, for example, with Enrico. It's really hard to overtake him, even though you are a little quicker. And Basil was keeping a distance, and
I mean,
see,
he was
like, I
doing
got
tactical racing.
Yeah, I tried to go in, but obviously it's still 8-6 wind, you know. It's not Fuerte that you have 6-2 full, that you have this acceleration. It's 8-6, so all the lines you can do there. Here I try to shoot down. But obviously shoot down on 6-2 and on 8-6 are two different time of shooting.
How much adrenaline at this point do you have? How much?
You're trying to breathe, to bring it down and to think, no? Because if you don't think, it's over. I mean, you can go back. So I was trying to think, to figure out. You know that the race is still kind of not long, but you have still space to come back. Obviously, going down, shooting down didn't help me, as you can see. Like I actually lost water on him.
Exactly.
And then here is the last jibe. I was way too far. So obviously I did my best. I did a good jibe. But
he kept it very close as well.
He went tight, and then him going so tight, I had no other chance than going downwind again. And then again with I got close, but the guy on Gastra in front was actually covering me a little bit. I was getting shitty wind from the guy on Gastra, while Basil above him was getting clean wind. No?
In those sizes, that wind makes a bigger difference, I guess.
On 8-6 it makes a huge difference. So if you have clear wind and you can go downwind, I was really close, you see at the end. But being Basil above him made the difference, no?
Exactly.
These 3, 4, 5 meters that made him advance, while I got stuck in the loser again. And so the sea snake.
Sorry.
He says sorry because actually the year before in Sylt, he was the guy like. I got stuck in the last jive. I was qualifying for the final, and I could have won the World Cup against Antoine. But he didn't get stuck. He got away. He went around me. And he qualified for the winners, so I lost because, but it's not because, I mean, it's my mistake, no? And here it's not his fault, I mean, he did a great race, it's just me getting stuck in this fucking season. Like it was black and long like this. I saw a few in the water, but as I said, I never even think that I would get one in those 3.5 minutes of an important hit.
Exactly.
But and I'm a guy, you know, there are some guys on tour that are super unlucky. They always get stuff. They get stuff in Korea, get stuff in Japan, get stuff wherever.
Maciek?
Maciek is unlucky, but there are many guys unlucky like that. I remember Thomas Malina, a guy from Czech Republic. He used to get everything. Now we kind of stopped to compete in the tour, but he used to get whatever was in the sea. He was getting it. And then getting the snake really that pissed me off, and then made me really hungry because hungry I was always as I'm now, but made me angry because it was something that was not in my control, was not my mistake, was not somebody else.
Not like the other two semi-finals.
No, it was something that was there. I couldn't do it. No, I saw it the last second because I was focused on the race. I had sun in the eyes. I mean, what you can do, and then made a big change, and then we got close to the
because
last.
Pierre didn't make the final.
No, Pierre neither.
You did better.
I think
he
I
got 12,
won,
you got 10.
I won. I did second in the loser. So somehow I gained back a little bit, but obviously doing the winner there would create a gap.
Exactly.
And then again would have been better, but I mean,
would have.
Keeping on saying if. What
exactly.
if?
So
didn't
going
happen.
into the final, what was you had to be 2 or 3 places in front of Pierre? Or?
I think I had to be 2 places in front of Pierre. Obviously Pierre would compete on me as did in Fuerte before.
Like you did on Jordi
Like I did on Jordi and this is the hit for the year. This is the hit for the title. And it was light, so again was not a competition where you can do different lines. You have to start good, be good at the first jibe, and get out of the first jibe upwind and good. And this didn't happen. I did like kind of now we see it. So I lined up good. I was on 9.2. I was the guy on the big on 9.4. I was the guy on the biggest sail of the fleet.
You were on 9.4.
I was on 9.4.
How many times did you use that in New Caledonia?
One time in Korea, and the first time I ever used the 9.4 in New Caledonia. But actually helped me to have a good start and to arrive to the mark in a kind of okay position because it was light the wind.
Yeah.
Was tight as well the course, and I was going good on the first reach. I was not really losing any space. Actually, I was in front of Pierre.
Yeah, 9.4 is harder to jibe as well.
Obviously, it's harder to jibe, and I got really tight the first jibe. My mistake here is not open up, but the guys were closing me, and then I tried to go tight, but like Pierre obviously slammed in, and here I got stuck because it was super light wind.
Yeah, you can't go anywhere.
And then I pumped, but even if I was on 9.4 with the guys above me covering me, I couldn't really get out of it.
No.
And then when I saw it was in front of me, I was like, fuck, I either hope it gets cancelled or I see really difficult to happen. No, but I tried to shoot down.
You kept,
Yeah, I kept trying, no, because I had 9.4, so I was like, okay, now I will give my all, I will try everything again. No? So you breathe, you relax, you try to think again, as in the semi-final before. But the bigger you go with the sail, the lighter is the wind, and the harder it is to to make it happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, here we see the second jibe.
In those light winds, you know, it comes down to the start, first jibe. If you get away good from the first jibe, like you see, Maciek here, he's gone. Enrico is second. Top 3 places don't even change it.
Yeah, the point is that you do the start, you get to the jibe. When you exit, you point, so nobody actually can pass you from below because you will get to a shitty wind. So even though the line is better, it cannot afford you to pass from below because it's too light the wind. So getting the shit from you would actually slow down so much that it's better to go upwind than in.
Yeah.
And then from upwind, it's impossible to pass him because it's too light. So it creates a train. No? So it's like you jibe and then you go tight. You jibe and then you go tight.
Yeah,
and then if nobody makes a mistake and they keep kind of planning,
I mean,
it's over.
It is a World Cup final, so the chance is there.
And then obviously it comes out to 8 of the best guys in the world. So it's not that you pass the guys like this. No? It's like
exactly.
Obviously after the first jibe, I was actually in front and I lost places because I slammed it bad.
Yeah.
Then was kind of over the title and everything.
Yeah.
But still, from this day, it didn't piss me off. This final, but a snake.
Yeah.
I mean, the worst memory I have of it is getting something in the water on one of the most important hits of my career.
Yeah.
Not the rest. If it's your mistake, it's always doable. I mean, especially for my it's really subjective.
Yes.
Everyone is different from the other.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like that. I mean, if I do the mistake and it's my problem, then I can afford to digest it. While something like this took me a while.
Yeah. I mean, I guess every year, you know, when you're going for world titles, there are always tiny things, you know. The tighter the level is getting in any discipline, there are always the little things that make the difference, you know. That in slalom, it's that jibe, that start, that snake.
Sure.
But it's, you know, it's the same for everyone. I think the most exciting for us as watchers is it is getting this tight. You guys are pushing it, and it isn't you, Matteo, you, Pierre, and Albo are the top 3 for the last few years, but we can see the rest is coming closer. The rest is having influences, you know. Enrico got 4.
They're there. That's what I mean. Every year is changing.
Like in the past, it used to be the top 3 guys, and you know, blinds eyes closed, they will make the final pretty much. Yeah. Now it is, you know, every heat is like.
No, you cannot afford any mistake. Even the quarterfinal is super hard. But everybody is hungry there, and they want to perform. Yeah. And actually, sometimes it's safer a hit afterwards in the quarter, because in the quarter we have these upcoming guys that are already fast, and they want to show themselves, nothing to lose. Yeah. So they go all in, no? Yeah. And you cannot go all in, because if you go all in, you go over early or something, you actually lose something. So this discrepancy between what you can lose and what these upcoming guys' talents are not losing, creates this danger, no?
Yeah.
But it's super cool to watch, and it's great to fight. I think in the end, like, you live bad that moment if you lose, obviously.
Yeah, I guess
But
after New Caledonia wasn't there.
No, it was not the best, but in the end took me less than other times to digest it, and in the end it's some of the best memories you can have in life. I mean, in the end you are there, the adrenaline is super high, the heart is beating so high. I mean, it's amazing. The feeling is hard to describe. What you are living is really hard to describe. Sometimes you are not even yourself, like you are there, but you think so much that you are not in your body.
Yeah.
And then it's some of the best memories I have from my whole life is like these moments fighting for the title.
Yeah.
When you don't know if you're gonna win, you're gonna lose.
I think as a
It's
competitive rider, you're always like that. But I think slalom is really that key discipline where it is about those races, where it is about those events. You know, freestyle, wave. You know, we can also still have chasing those perfect conditions, and that can give us sometimes more satisfaction in doing a good heat.
Sure.
But like in slalom, that is it. You know, that's
Yeah, wave and freestyle is more expressing yourself at the best you can, and maybe you can get pissed off yourself because you didn't give your best, but it's you. Like you can give the best of Dieter is this, and if you get to that, you're happy. No, on slalom maybe is every time kind of changing because how you check the other guys, how you did the competition. It's all about competing against the other, no?
Yeah.
And then how you deal with your own pressure.
Yeah.
And then, but this is why we compete. I mean, I guess Pierre loves it. Antoine obviously loves it. We all do it because we love this feeling. It's hard to describe. I think in every racing discipline, I mean, is different, but it's kind of goes down to the same. If it's racing and you compete against somebody else, and there's no rules like in PWA, you go all in. Then this brings up to another level of adrenaline and emotion.
Yeah, so. Exactly. Let's have a quick look if there's still any more questions. Quite a few. Okay, get an understanding for the people. Do you usually take to a contest?
Since 5 years, where I basically go to fight for the world title. I bring double of the most used stuff I think I will use in that place. So, for example, if I go to Asia, I will bring a double big board, double medium board, one small, and now one foil. So it comes down to 6 boards, and then the sails I bring around 12 sails, double, triple masts. Because then, like for 90s, for example, I use on 9.4 and 8.6 both.
Yeah.
So I have number 1 for 8.6, number 1 for 9.4, and a spare one for each in case you break one for any. You don't want to get any chance that you will end up on the beach with something broken you can replace, no?
Yeah.
So you have double sails of the most used sizes, double masts, booms that I can actually cross them so I can use on different sizes. So I bring usually 5 or 6 booms. Yeah. And then many fins. Obviously, you have like your racing fins, but then you have like spare ones, and then one spare, and then a different one per board. I mean, you have like
how many
15
bags?
to 20 fins. I travel with 7 board bags, plus a cup, like the foil bag with the foils in, and a fin bag, like a gear bag with the fins and tools. Yeah. So it comes down to I check in 10 bags, 9 or 10 bags, by myself. Yeah, that's the worst part of our life.
I guess that's why in the European events, most of the guys, even if it's a far drive.
We drive there. I mean, I have my van, I have my Citroen jumper. I put all the stuff in and drive and whatever. No, I don't really. I don't really. I don't want to fly.
The question here is, how long do you still want to compete? You want to compete like Antoine? He's 48. He's still competing.
I don't know. It's a long shot. I don't see myself at 48 competing, but I think if you would ask him 18 years ago, he would tell you that he wouldn't compete until 48. I mean, the point is that I cannot see myself without competition. Yeah. And it's 10 years I compete on the world tour, and it's 13 years I compete in general. Yeah. And it's my whole life is like our life is to aim to do our best in competition and to travel around to compete, to confront the other guys. So I don't know. I see easily 10 more years, and then we will see.
Yeah.
I guess until 40 for sure, and then we will see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
One more question. Even though it was very hard for you not to win, was there a part of you that was happy for Pierre to finally get his first world title, which was kind of all three are in the.
No, I was not happy for that Pierre was winning. I would tell you bullshit. He deserves it. He's an amazing rider. We have been fighting a lot. We are the same age. We have been really good friends when we were together in the North team. We had a low when I won the title in 2016. We had like some arguments, and then now we got back a bit closer. I mean, it's fine. I respect him because he's an amazing sportsman and rider. So I don't say he doesn't. I mean, he is a guy that had to win, and he won, and I appreciate that. But I'm not happy that for him to win. No, I'm not.
No. That's fair enough.
No.
I think that were all the questions so far.
Cool.
Thank you for your time. That was amazing to go through all the different heats.
Yeah, it was good for me as well.
Was really some key points there. I hope you guys like it as well. Have a bit more insight of what is really playing. You know, it's sometimes on paper it looks very different than it actually is. For me, it was really good as well to go through all the events. And thank you for your time.
It was fun to get an interview by you, and the questions were good. So
all right.
It was cool. Good time together. I hope to see you guys around soon whenever the situation is finished.
Let's hope we can go all on the water soon. And
let's hope, yeah. We'll wish you guys the best wherever you are. And
I want a special thanks to the guys here arranging everything. PG.
Yeah. Thank you.
7 Pixels.
Thank you, Bartek. 7 Pixels. And the best guys, yeah.
Exactly.
And
thanks for this setup.
And by far the best.
Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully all of you can come here in the near future, so we can all go sailing together from the center here. And remember, we will do the raffle for the T-shirt and for the €200 voucher upcoming week. Please follow our Facebook, Surf Hub Tenerife, and we'll announce the winner there. So hope you enjoyed it.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one, a good evening.